It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. What is going on? I am Anon Moose. We are here on the normal base. Back to the normal game. I don't even know how to... The legacy game, the old-fashioned game, the game that we all grew to love. This is Operation Hit. Then we're going to get into some map clearing. My map has all sorts of goodness. We're going to hit it and hit it hard. And there's going to be no warships today. No warships today. I am a little bit burnt out, so we're going to focus on the main game, get some intel for my task force. This task force, by the way, is Triangle 9, 25 of 25, but there are some openings in our other task forces. Check the description down below for a wonderful, happy, fun place where you can crush it with beasts or learn or chill or whatever it takes. We've got a task force for you. Anyways, we're going to load up all of the ladies. We're also going to load up Miss Brick. This is a brick hit on Minotaur. Minotaur, I don't know what it is about this. People miss their shocks on these rockets in this rocket garden like crazy. I have never had an issue with it, but now that I've said that, I'm probably totally going to screw it up. Thankfully, there's only 4 shocks. 1, 2, 3, 4 right in here. You know what? Let's draw a picture, shall we? We're going to go like this. What we're going to do here is clear all of these mines right about here. Then we're going to switch colors to a beautiful, beautiful blue. And we're going to go like this and shock 1. And we're going to shock 2 right in here. And then I'm going to make a mess of my screen and move it along and go 3. And 4. If you've never done this hit before, where have you been? Hiding underneath a rock? This is fairly straightforward. These shocks are not difficult, but it's every time I say a shock isn't difficult, someone struggles with it. I struggle with the Lego shock, as I like to call it, which is something like this with an extra set of machine guns on the end. People struggle with these shocks. I know Kirk, if you're out there watching, struggles with these shocks for some reason. Beast players who struggle with certain things but not others, and I guess it depends what you're hitting with. I attack on a phone at all times, so I don't know. Maybe it's the iPad thing, maybe it's a tablet thing. Don't really know. Managed to get a fairly decent barrage there. Only going to need 1 more artillery to clean things up. Now, I do this the old-fashioned way. This is a hit shown to me by, I think it was I Love Soju, possibly one of those old-timey Reddit players that has been around for a long, long time. This is called the typewriter drop. By going to the right and then back to the left, you get underneath the range of that mortar. You get to do a little bit of a limbo underneath it, laughing all the way. Next up, people like to do this diagonal walk. I like to just walk straight up from here. Walking straight up has served me well. You'll notice the troops never, ever, ever get to the flare. That's critical. Also, don't drop brick until after the mortars fire. As soon as the mortars fire, then you can get all sorts of smokes out. But you'll see we have saved at least 1 or 2 smokes. We're also being very, very naughty around that shock launcher, being very, very careful to gap our smokes, but not losing the delay with those rockets. So we are being a little bit crazy around those shock launchers, but no craziness at all around the rocket launchers. We need to get all the delay we possibly can. That flare is right at the corner of that defensive building damage statue. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, tapping right in the middle of all of the rockets, getting all sorts of shocky shocks. Now, I used a second battle orders simply because throwing a second round of shocks wasn't going to work. So as soon as you get 2-3 seconds into your shocks, throw that second battle orders, getting a little bit extra damage. Got touched up by those machine guns, but overall, not a bad hit. Solo on massive attack, not bad at all. I have no idea how much health was on there. Let's have a quick look, see what is on there. So 643 means there was about 1.5 million health on that. All you do is you do 643 times 2, which is 1286 plus 200 is, you get the idea, about 1.5 million. Yes, I got some kudos from the dudes in the task force. Anytime you do a hit and someone in your task force responds, it just shows you're in a good task force. Gotta say, I like any task force that I am in needs to be a little bit chatty. Boom Beach, I play for the chattiness, for the socialness, and Warships just doesn't bring that. Like, Supercell, just give us my version of Warships, first iteration. I guess we're on the second iteration, I should say. Just bring us the ability to do friendly challenges and share replays, or even just share replays. I would love to be able to share replays and say, what did I do wrong? Or look at this guy who tried to attack me. In my previous Warships videos, I've been doing heavy rushes, looked at the tribes, and lo and behold, we have heavy damage tribal boost. So I'm going to do 2 attacks with heavies, just showing that you can do heavy rushes on the main base as well. Not going to do that on an operation attack. Definitely not. I think I see a hidden shock mine behind that boom cannon. Didn't hide it quite right, person. You need to put it 1 square back so it's hidden behind the boom cannon. And now we're just going to heavy rush. Now you'll see that left-hand side shock mine. We should be able to avoid that just by going slightly right of our smokes. Now we don't care about the delay with our heavy dudes simply because they have so much health and they're going to do so much damage that it's going to be silly. We're going to go 1, 2, 3 smokes right into the kill zone. I don't have smoke on warships. I've heard from people that smoky heavy rushes on warships are even better than regular heavy rushes. So we're just going to use 2 shocks and then see what our heavy dudes can do, using a second round of battle orders, just like our operation attack, hoping to get this down before those shock launchers come unshocked, even though we could have shocked them 1 more time. Lots and lots of GBE heavies just crushing through it. And this person had 1, 2, 3 ice at least. And again, back to that social aspect. Love that I can say, check this out. Like, woo heavies. And people can, in the task force, can laugh at it. We can joke about it. If I needed help, they could throw some comments my way. This person likes Power Stone chants. This should be a piece of cake. Let's just see if we can walk across this. Probably should have brought Kavan. There's a video opportunity right there using Warships strategies on the main base. We could do like the Kavan rifle business just to see how it would react. But nope, this video is all about the main base. Keeping things, I've already made too many Warships references, need to back off a little bit. Let's just keep this to the main base. And I know I've been super not awesome about implementing the main base and playing the main base and sharing the main base, but the thing is, everyone in the comments, everyone with the views, the main base is just not getting any love because everyone's seen it. Although I have to say, there's some good things coming, people. With the my videos, the tutorials on low-level beating boss bases have been doing very well. So that gives me a good indication that there are new players still coming to Boom Beach, and I don't know how Boom Beach is advertising or how they're finding us. If you're a new player, please let me know how you found Boom Beach, why you're playing Boom Beach compared to the super hyped games that are out there in the app stores and things like that, because Boom Beach is down like level 60 in the App Store, level 70 in the App Store. So that's where I originally found Boom Beach, was just going through the App Store and going into the top free category back when that used to be a thing. So if you're new to Boom Beach, please do hit me up in the comments. Let me know where you found the game, why you have started playing in the year 2020, because back in like 2014 or 2015 or whatever it was, it was lots and lots of new players coming in. That has dwindled a little bit. So I'm genuinely curious as to where the new players are coming from, why they're joining the game. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the game. I'm just curious why you've now joined it in the year that we're at. So other games definitely getting more hype than Boom Beach, but Boom Beach still bringing the love and still a fantastic game. I'm not trying to say you shouldn't be playing under any circumstances, but taking down icy bases, boosted ice, this person boosting their ice and getting taken down by heavies. Part of the fun for this, obviously, is sharing with the task force, sharing with you guys on YouTube, but also them opening their attack log and seeing they got taken down by all heavies and looking at their boosted ice and reevaluating their life, essentially, if that makes any sense, or their play style. So as you can see, my victory points have fallen drastically. Was sitting around 1,200 there for a while, and now down into the 1,000 range. So once you get down into the 1,000 range, you're starting to get to the point where ice doesn't really make a lot of sense. In the 1,000 range, it definitely makes a lot more sense than in the 300 range. So really, I think your play style and your statue choices really have to depend on where you're sitting in the victory point platform. But at the same time, I really do appreciate people who put ice out, because it gets to the point where you're actually helping the game be more interesting by putting out ice statues in victory point areas that you probably shouldn't be. Because otherwise, if everyone had all offensive statues, this game would be boring. Ice statues definitely serve a purpose in this game later on, but right now, not so much. Let's switch this up. What I'm going to do now is give something a shot that I have tried many times and never released the video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scout some players such as this person, and then we're going to attack using whatever troops they have loaded. I can't believe someone has warriors loaded. I fully expected there to be tank medic loaded. Every time I've tried to do this in the past, basically every base has had tank medic loaded. So thank you to long string of Chinese letters for giving us the opportunity to use something else. I'm just going to do 3 more attacks here. We're going to stick to whatever the heck the person has loaded and go from there. So this one, warriors, something I am comfortable with for sure. We're going to drop all of our troops in this nice, pretty little line. You'll notice I like to use that drop all of the time. Now, typically with warriors, I really do like to use flare drop on the ground, but just because we're going to need to wait a second for bullet, and we've got that nice skinny line to start with, I figured, you know what, let's use a building flare. Now that we're close to the headquarters, let's get our dudes walking. It's nice to say headquarters again, as opposed to engine room or core, or there's just so many different ways to describe the same thing in this game. Let's get all sorts of medkits, all our medkits out on the dudes and down. Did we lose any troops? Yeah, okay, we lost 3 warriors in that first boat. Otherwise, a pretty decent attack using warriors. Thank you, long Chinese string of characters. Also known as Squiggles McGee. Let's have a look at our next base. See what they've got loaded. Holy crow. 4 boats of Zookas. Okay, so let's go 4 boats of Zookas, some heavies, and some cryos. Hopefully, then the problem is we can't see their hero hut, so we're going to have to make some assumptions or some guesses. I'm going to say, because they're mixing Cryoneers in with Zookas, they're going back to those early days of Cryoneers where people were trying to figure out how to use them. And we're going to go with Taunt. Back when Taunt was super overpowered, this was a troop strategy, troop loadout that I like to use when I was sitting at like the 1800 victory point sort of level. Yes, I went super high and lost way too many hours of my life to Boom Beach. Let's get back in here, attack this person. We're going to do a kind of an anchor business just because Cryoneers need... We're going to do a full clear using Heavy Zuka with Cryoneers adding some support and Bullet giving all sorts of goodness. Again, with that, look at that, 9 boats underneath smoke. That is the drop that we all should be using. I'm not able to pull it off consistently, but when I do, it is magical. Now, you be aware that you can throw smoke underneath a sky shield. You can't throw it inside the sky shield, obviously, but you can throw it down underneath. Let's go back to here, and then we're going to throw critters over here, and we're going to shock this machine gun back here, and we're just going to do a clear. And the reason for that is because the Cryoneers that way have a reason for being in our troop strategy. And all we need to do now is hope that Bullet goes towards the core. Of course, Bullet is not going towards the core. He is being completely and utterly useless to us right now. But thankfully, we still managed to get that base down. That strategy was super common, like a year ago, 2 years ago, where when Cryoneers first came out, where you'd smoke underneath something, mark some defenses, and then crush the base. Let's do one more. We're going to come over here and see Tim. Tim, one of the most generic names possible in Boom Beach. What does Tim have loaded? Bombardiers, tanks, and medics. Okay, that's a reasonable troop combo. I got to say, people for the most part have had reasonable troop combos. I sometimes scout people and scratch my head wondering what the heck they were thinking, but in this case, this looks like a viable troop combo for sure. I think they had something like, I think they actually had, let's go back and check out Tim. Where did Tim go? Tim, where are you at, Tim? Over here on the right-hand side. Okay, 4 boats of tanks. Let's switch this up. I was going with 3 boats of tanks. They're going with 4. Just got to make sure we're being completely and utterly accurate. And I challenge you guys, give this a shot. See if you can attack people using their troops. And it's difficult because you end up using troop combos that you've never used before. And obviously you need instant training to do it. But instant training to me is the most best amazing thing that was ever brought to Boom Beach, and we managed to get it for half off. Just make sure you do throw creator code ZMOD in there. Managed to do a nice little segue. Boom Beach bringing out instant training just made the game, open it up to playing Mega Crab, playing PvP, operations, hopping, all that sort of good stuff. I am intending to do a hopping video soon. Try to do it on the weekend, but by the time I managed to boost and get my hops in, there was just no one around. So we're going to drop Mr. Bullet up front. I'm going to barrage this CMO. I don't like CMOs. I don't like dealing with CMOs. I don't like being around CMOs. I just find that I lose way more troops around CMOs than I probably should. We're also going to get rid of this right side rocket launcher simply because I don't want to lose any of my bombardoos to the rocket launcher on that right-hand side. And now I am having an issue here in the fact that my Bullet, I don't have troop health. And so Bullet, his health just dies quickly. And the beautiful thing about having troop health is it makes your abilities so much more useful. Energy drink, when you have troop health, brings back 35% extra health, plus you already have 35 to 70% extra health to start with. So troop health is one of those abilities that it's like a gift that just keeps on giving. So I personally don't have troop health on this account, but these days I kind of feel like everyone should have it simply because it makes your Mega Crab experience far better. And it's one of those things where operation attacks definitely aren't as strong with troop health, like with a few exceptions, obviously, like when you can shock Bullet in place. But troop health feels like it's kind of a must-have statue at this point, just because of the monthly Mega Crabs and PvP and... I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Otherwise, that is my quick video. Operation attack, main base. By the way, don't forget your tribes. I have been finding that I have forgotten tribes a number of times. That Power Stone chance doesn't seem like it does a lot if you're just looking for crystals, but it does throw you some extra fragments. If we have a look at my sculpture here, you'll see it's just a complete and utter mess. I would love an auto sculptor that I could turn on. I would love a second sculptor that I could pay for with a subscription. I just can't keep up. And if you guys have tips, I'd love to hear it. But having more than one account just means that my sculptor is just so neglected. Definitely not trying to collect any sort of stones, but boosting that Power Stone chance for me, probably a waste of my raw crystals, but I am fully maxed HQ 23, level 68. So anyways, as always, it's a beautiful day. No, that's definitely not as always, but as always, thanks for coming in. I'm ZMOD. Peace.